Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. If you are new here, you are welcome in a very special way. We appreciate you joining us for today's video tutorial. This is our third tutorial on how to convert the units of physical quantities. In the first two tutorials, we looked at how to convert the units of length and area. The concept we developed from the first two tutorials are going to be very useful in this third tutorial. I have therefore left you with the links in both the comment and description section for your revision. Now let's go right into today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are going to talk about how to convert the unit of volume. Throughout our presentation, we have used two mathematical concepts to do our conversion. And these two concepts are the concept of indices and the concept of prefixes. For indices, we have used just two properties, the properties of multiplication and the properties of multiplying a power by an exponent. For the prefixes, we have always used 4, but in this tutorial, we will only learn 3. These are the deci, which is 10 exponent minus 1, the centi, which is 10 exponent minus 2, the milli, which is 10 exponent minus 3. Now let's talk about the unit of volume. What is the SI unit of volume? The SI unit of the volume of an object is the cubic meter, represented by m exponent 3. There are other units that we can measure volume in, and that is why it becomes necessary to convert the unit of volume from one to another. So apart from the cubic meter, we can also measure the volume of an object in cubic decimeter, in cubic millimeter, in cubic centimeter, and in liter. Now we have to note here that the cubic centimeter is the same as the milliliter, and we will prove this in the course of our presentation. Among these three, the largest is the liter, and it is mostly seen on big containers like water tanks and other big tanks. So let's focus now on the liter. 1 liter is equal to 1000 cubic centimeter, and when we write 1000 cubic centimeter in the liter, we are going to have 10 exponent 3 cubic centimeter being equal to 1 liter. I want you to take special note of this relation because we are going to apply it later in our computations. Now let's talk about the two concepts we have also used in our previous videos. These two concepts are the concept of substitution and the concept of introduction. That is, at any point in converting the unit of a quantity from one to another, you will do what I call substitution or introduction. So how do we do substitution? Let us take, for example, 2 cubic centimeter. If I have 2 cubic centimeter and I want to convert it to cubic meter, what I have to do is that I have to substitute the value of the prefix C, which is centi, and that one will convert my answer to cubic meter. And we already know that the value of the centi is 10 exponent minus 2, and so I will just substitute it there. And because we are talking about volume, we have to cube the prefix. So we are going to get 2 times 10 exponent minus 2 all exponent 3, and this will convert my volume to meter cube. Now applying indices here, we are going to get 2 times 10 exponent minus 6 cubic meter. Now what about introduction? Let's take the answer that we had in the substitution, which is 2 times 10 exponent minus 6 cubic meters. Now let's convert it back to cubic centimeters and see whether we are going to have our 2 cubic centimeters. So with introduction, what we realize here is that the final answer that we are going to have will be in cubic centimeters. But in the figure given, that is 2 times 10 exponent 6 cubic meter, we don't have the centi there. So we are going to introduce it into our final answer. And when introducing a prefix, the sign of the exponent must change. In this case, we are going to have 2 times 10 exponent minus 6. Introducing our prefix, which is the centi, will be times 10 exponent positive 2. And because we are dealing with volume, we will cube this prefix. And this will convert our answer to cubic centimeters. What is left for us to do is the indices. So let's see, we are going to have 2 times 10 exponent minus 6 times 10 exponent minus 6 in cubic centimeters. Now from indices, 10 exponent minus 6 times 10 exponent 6 is going to give you 1. And so our final answer is going to be 2 cubic centimeters, just as we started with it in the substitution. So this is how we do substitution and introduction when we are converting the units of volume from one to another. Now let's take our first question for the day. Our first question is asking us to convert 100 cubic meters to decimeter cube, centimeter cube, millimeter cube, and the liter. So let's look at the first one. That is 100 cubic meter to cubic decimeter. We realize here that in our original figure, which is the 100 cubic meter, we do not have the deci in it. It is a new thing that will be introduced in our answer. And so introduction means that we have to change the sign of the exponent. So we are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 1. And because we are dealing with volume, we will cube it. And this would change our answer to decimeter cube. Now let's apply indices here and write our answer. We are going to get 100,000 decimeter cube. Because in physics, we are expected to leave our answers, if possible, in standard form, we are going to have 1.0 times 10 exponent 5 decimeter cube as our answer. Let's go to the second one. 100 cubic meters to cubic centimeters. So here, what we are supposed to do is to introduce our centi into our final answer. And so we are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 2 all exponent 3. And this converts our answer to centimeter cube. Applying indices, we are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 6 cubic centimeters. And converting it to standard form, we are going to have 1.0 times 10 exponent 8 cubic centimeters. Our third one is for us to convert 100 cubic meters to cubic millimeters. Once again, we have to introduce the milli into our final answer. And so we are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 3 all exponent 3. And this will convert our answer to millimeter cube. Applying indices, we are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 9 in millimeter cube. Writing our answer in standard form, we are going to have 1.0 times 10 exponent 11 cubic millimeter. Now our fourth one for the first question is 100 cubic meter to the liter. Now we have to pause here and go back to the relationship between centimeter cube and liter. Here we don't have a direct prefix to use. And so since the liter is more related with the cubic centimeter, let us first of all change the 100 cubic meter to centimeter cube, which we have already done. But let's do it again. So we are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 2 all exponent 3. And this converts our answer to centimeter cube. Now let's do the indices. We are going to have 100 times 10 exponent 6. Now here we have to apply our indices well. We know that 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1 liter. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to split the 10 exponent 6 that we have obtained into two different powers, such that in one of them we are going to have the exponent to be positive 3, and 10 exponent positive 3 centimeter cube will give us 1 liter. So let's see. But before then, let us write the 100 in standard form. So we are going to have 1.0 times 10 exponent 2. That is for the 100. Then splitting the 10 exponent 6 into 2, we are going to have 10 exponent 3 times 10 exponent 3. And this is still in centimeter cube. Now we know that 10 exponent 3 centimeter cube is the same as the liter. It means that we can replace the 10 exponent 3 centimeter cube with the liter. And when we do that, we are going to get 1.0 times 10 exponent 5 liter. That is applying indices with the 10 exponent 2 and 10 exponent 3. Now let's go to our second question for the day. We are supposed to convert 20 decimeter cube to meter cube, millimeter cube, centimeter cube, and milliliter. We have already stated before that the centimeter cube is the same as the milliliter. I have intentionally brought it in this question for us to prove and see whether it is true or not. So let's go to our first conversion. 20 cubic decimeter to cubic meter. We have to do substitution. We have to substitute the value of the deci, and that one will convert our answer to cubic meters. So we are going to have 20 times 10 exponent minus 1 all exponent 3 cubic meter. So applying indices here, we are going to have 20 times 10 exponent minus 3, and our answer is in cubic meter. Our second question is for us to convert 20 decimeter cube to millimeter cube. Here we have to pause and look at it carefully. We have to convert decimeter cube to millimeter cube. We have already said in a previous tutorial that what this one means is that we have to remove the deci from there and replace it with the milli. So first of all, we have to substitute the value of the deci there. Once we substitute the value of the deci there, it converts our answer to meter cube. So let's do that. We are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 1 cube, and this is in meter cube. Now that we have our answer in meter cube, let us introduce our milli to convert it to millimeter cube. So we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent 3 all exponent 3, and this converts our answer to millimeter cube. Applying indices, we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent positive 9, still in millimeter cube. Applying indices again, we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent positive 6, and since it is not in standard form, we have to write it in standard form, and that will give us 2.0 times 10 exponent 7. Let's go to our third conversion. We are supposed to convert 20 decimeter cube to centimeter cube. We are supposed to first of all substitute the value for the deci there, and then later introduce our centi. So let's first of all do the substitution. We are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 1 all exponent 3, and this leaves our answer in cubic meters. Now let's do our introduction. we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent positive 2 all exponent 3. And this converts our answer to cubic centimeter. Now applying indices, we are going to have 20 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent positive 6. This is still in cubic centimeter. Applying indices again, we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent 3 because we have 10 exponent minus 3 multiplying 10 exponent positive 6. So we have to add the exponent. Minus 3 plus 6 will give us positive 3. Writing this in standard form, we are going to get 2.0 times 10 exponent 4, and this is in cubic centimeters. The fourth one is for us to convert to milliliter. We have already established that our answer in cubic centimeter is the same as our answer in milliliter, and so we want to prove. By proving, we want to assume that we do not know this relation, and so let us first of all convert the whole thing to liters and then convert it to milliliters. But you know that because there is no direct link between the decimeter cube and the liters from the method we are using, but rather there is a link between the liters and the cubic centimeters. Let's first of all convert our answer to the cubic centimeters. By converting our answer to cubic centimeters also, we first of all have to convert it to cubic meters. We are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 1 exponent 3, and this is in cubic meters. Then let us introduce our centi to convert it to cubic centimeters. We are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent 2 all exponent 3 in centimeter cube. Applying indices, we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent 6 cubic centimeters. Applying indices again, we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent positive 3. This is in cubic centimeters. Let's convert it to liters, and it becomes very simple because we know that 10 exponent 3 centimeter cube is the same as the liter. So in place of the 10 exponent 3 centimeter cube, we can put the liter there, and so we are going to get 20 liters. Now that we have our answer in liters, let us introduce the milli and see. By introducing the milli, we are going to get 20 times 10 exponent positive 3, and this converts the liters into the milliliters. Since this is not in standard form, let us write it in standard form. We are going to get 2.0 times 10 exponent positive 4 milliliters, and it's the same thing that we had in converting to cubic centimeters. And so this proves that the cubic centimeters is the same as the milliliters. Now let's get to the third and final question for this tutorial. We are supposed to convert 5.4 centimeter cube to meter cube, decimeter cube, millimeter cube, and the liter. So let's deal with the first one. 5.4 cubic centimeters to cubic meters. What we have to do is to substitute the value of the C, which is the centi, and this will convert our volume into cubic meters. So you're going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 2 exponent 3, and this is in cubic meters. Applying indices, we are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 6 cubic meters. And since this is already in standard form, we leave our answer like that. The second one, 5.4 cubic centimeters to cubic decimeter. So we realize here that we have to remove the centi from there and replace it with the deci. And because the centi is already in the given figure, we have to substitute its value there and later introduce our deci. So let's go. We are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 2 exponent 3 multiplied by 10 exponent 1. That is introducing our deci, exponent 3, because we are dealing with volume. And this converts our answer to decimeter cube. Applying indices, we have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 6 times 10 exponent positive 3 decimeter cube. Applying indices again, we are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 3 decimeter cube. Now let's move to the third conversion. 5.4 cm cube to millimeter cube. First of all, substitute the value for the centi and then later introduce the value for the milli. So we are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 2 exponent 3. And this converts our answer to meter cube. Now introducing our milli, we are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 6 times 10 exponent 3 exponent 3. And this one gives us millimeter cube. Applying indices, we are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 6 times 10 exponent positive 9. And this is going to give us 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 3 in millimeter cube. Now the final conversion for this tutorial is to convert 5.4 centimeter cube to liters. We already know how the cubic centimeters is related to the liter. We know that 1,000 cubic centimeters is equal to 1 liter. Since we don't have any power, any exponent in the question already, it makes it a little bit difficult to convert. But that is why we are using indices. So what you have to do here is that, first of all, let us write it in a standard form. We are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent 0 cubic centimeters. Now what we have to do is that we have to rewrite the 10 exponent 0 so that we are going to have two powers, of which one of them will have an exponent of positive 3. Then we can replace it with the liter. So we are going to have 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent positive 3. 10 exponent minus 3 times 10 exponent positive 3 is the same as 10 exponent 0. Now let us substitute the liter. We know that 10 exponent 3 cubic centimeter is the same as the liter. So in place of the 10 exponent 3 centimeter cube, we can write the liter. So our final answer is going to be 5.4 times 10 exponent minus 3 liters. And this is the end of our presentation for today. Like always, I would want to give you 2 questions for your own practice. You can solve them and share with us in the comment section. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next video.